All right, another week and another episode and another winner's wheel. Somehow the Dino Rabbit deck worked. Thunder King and back row are a win condition of its own. So even this week with Rise of the Duelist and Abyss Rising coming into play, if we don't pull any of the high rarity cards that we need for some of these new decks coming out, I know I can always fall back on Thunder King and some trap cards. Ricardo's definitely been struggling with that, so we have that to fall back on. Let's spin these wheels before we do our opening. Very excited. First is going to be Order of Chaos. I'd actually like to get super rare to get that Hornet for the Inzectors, but again, my Inzector pull is pretty weak as is, so I don't know if it'll be worth it if I'm completely honest. So we'll spin the wheel. We'll see what we get. I think really there's nothing in particular that I absolutely need. All right, Ultra Rare. Let's see what we got. Really, I would like some extra deck cards. Utopia, we already have that. Shadow Ninja's pretty good, but it's a rank 5, and we're not really playing rank 5s right now. Well, I think that was it. Was that it? Bummer. Well, I guess with what we have in front of us, it's between the Ninja and, well, between the Ninja cards, the rank 5 or Hanzo. And again, I haven't really been playing rank 5s. And yeah, I don't know if that'll ever come up or not. So I think whether or not I use this or not, I'm going to grab the second Hanzo. I'd like to try to make it work. But again, whether or not I play it, who knows. But we'll take the second Hanzo, add it to the collection, and then we'll spin our next wheel.
All right, we're going to spin the wheel twice. Once for Order of Chaos and once for Galactic Overlord. Ideally, we get anything but common. That's the bar we have right now. And it looks like we're going to get a super out of Order of Chaos, which is good news for me. Alright, so the card we're picking up from Order of Chaos is Dark Diviner, level 4 Synchro, which we desperately needed. Just not having access to level 4 was really rough. Unfortunately, it's only usable with a non-tuner insect, which could be an issue, but of course Level Leader is legal and shall remain legal from now until the end of time. So Diviner could see play, it's just a matter of what tuners do I run. Of course, Junk Synchron always is an option. Of course, Junk Synchron's always an option, so Dark Diviner will definitely see play at some point. Will it be this week? Not entirely sure.
All right, so next we have Galactic Overlord. Nothing in particularly jumps out at me, but I do know I want some extra deck cards. So specifically, rank 6s would be nice so we can actually play Heretic. I think the Rota for the deck is at 2 now, but again, we only pulled the 1, so that doesn't matter to us. Let's spin the wheel. Hopefully we get lucky and hit something that we can actually use, and maybe we can actually play that deck this week. Secret Rare. Okay, let's go check it out. Big Eye. Well, we're not playing rank 7s right now, but... Well, okay, actually, not this episode, but next episode, we're going to be opening Cosmo Blazer and Tachyon Galaxy, which is where the Dragon Rulers make their debut. So, well... I don't know, that's kind of risky, and I'd be kind of putting my marbles in the fact of me hoping to hit Dragon Rulers. But, let me think about this for a sec. All right, you know what? As much as I want this Strike Bouncer, which works great with the Heretics, outside of the Heretics, I don't see myself using it. Whereas the Big Eye has a lot of potential, not only in Abyss Rising with the Mermails, but there's also the Dragon Rulers in Tachyon Galaxy, like I just mentioned, and even if we don't pull a full Dragon Ruler core, as long as we hit 2 names, the Heretics actually can tutor out the Dragon Rulers from deck, giving us options to go into rank 7s. So for that reason alone, I actually feel like Big Eye works for both of those decks. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to just risk it. If I don't hit the Dragon Rulers, then I definitely missed my opportunity with the Strike Bouncer, and I'm definitely going to be kicking myself. But I have a feeling we're going to at least hit a couple of them next week, so for that reason, I'm grabbing this Big Eye. I think it's super powerful, and any deck that makes level 7s can abuse it. So, Big Eye, welcome to the collection. Hopefully, we get some Dragon Rulers.
Alright, next up is our Galactic Overlord spin, and ideally we hit one of the big Exceeds monsters, or pretty much anything that isn't common. That's really what we're hoping for here. But it looks like we're gonna hit a rare. Alright, for lack of better options, we're gonna go ahead and grab Light Ray Grepher this week. Not the best card, but not a lot of options for the rare lineup.
All right, 24 packs of Return of the Duelist. I don't know if I misspoke in the wheel spin, but I might have said Rise of the Duelist. But yeah, obviously, we're not opening Rise. Return of the Duelist, though, is a very great set. Yugiohs, spellbooks, chronomalies. There's a lot of good stuff. Even Madolches are in here, so I'd like to be able to get a playable deck out of this if possible. You know me, I like mixing it up on Ricardo whenever I get the chance. So, first pack, the OBS is running this week. Let's catch this opening. Let's flip it up. First pack does have an ultra rare Thunder Spark Dragon. Pretty good card, but it takes 3 level 4s to make. If we play Yugioh, this actually could be something we make. But again, we'll see how our opening goes.
Our first set of the week is a big one. It is Return of the Duelist, a set that introduces not only the Prophecy monsters, but Maldoches, Heroic Challengers, and an incredible lineup of staple Exceeds monsters. This set is insane, and honestly, as long as we pull anything decent, we should be fine from this pack. Ideally, Justin doesn't pull some amazing Prophecy core, which shouldn't be possible given the rarities, but I don't know. We've had surprises before. Anyways, let's get into it. Here's pack number 1. Starting these off with nothing crazy. We do get some new Photon support here, but nothing that really screams out to me outside maybe Chewbone, I guess.
Oh, okay. So we do get a generic rank 3 in the Chronomaly Crystal Chronaut. Not bad. We have Zen mains, though, which is arguably way better. But this is a light, so technically Tour Guide could make BLS live now. So that's not bad. I'll definitely take that.
We do get a Soul Drain, which could be interesting. Not really going to do much against what Justin's been playing, but maybe in the future it's a potential side deck option. We do get a Dust Knight, which is pretty interesting. We also get a Block Golem, which is pretty good. But an underrated pool here is Where Art Thou? Hopefully we walk away with a playset. We're at the halfway point, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get much out of the spellbook lineup here. We do get the Library and another Prophecy Destroyer. Would have preferred, anything else pretty much. Some more Gears, another Block Golem.
Okay, this pack's pretty decent. There's Temperance. Again, we're not playing this deck because it's all high rarity, so yeah. But there is an Arsenal. This is the Lone Fire for the Yugioh deck, so hopefully we can get a playset of this and at least 1 armor. I know last time I wanted 1 super rare was the Inzectors, and of course you saw how that went. But anyway, we definitely want 3 of this as well. Very good for the deck. There's also some Dolce support here, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, second Arsenal. I think the last pack had an Accelerator that I skipped over, so we got 2 Arsenal and 3 Accelerator. We definitely need an armor, though. Let's keep going. Ooh, Ghost Rare Excalibur. That's crazy. Okay, well, you need 2 Warriors to make this, but it's a 4K beater if you play a Warrior deck. And honestly, I don't think I do have a Warrior-based deck, but, maybe in the future. Glad I have it.
We get Spellbook of Wisdom, which could be good heading towards the future once we, get a little more Spellcaster beefy, I guess. Of course, the other Spellbook of Power.
Okay, there's MK2, pretty good for the deck as well. We already have the OG Girgiano as well, so set up some rank 3 plays, or with the future support in the trap card that brings them out to set up other rank 4 plays. Definitely a crucial part, but we're still missing armor, so we'll keep opening, but we'll see what happens. Okay, not the super rare we're looking for, a second Temperance, but there's our 3rd Arsenal. So we have 3 Accelerator, 3 Arsenal, and 1 MK2. If we can hit 1 armor in these last 5 or 6 packs, then, we might have a deck that we can play with. Man, another super rare, but not armor. Spellbook of Life. Super depressing. Coming up on the last pack, though. Hopefully we get an armor. Flip it up. No, that was a super rare, but not the one we wanted. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. We got some decent stuff. We got this rank 4 here. It takes 3 level 4s. We got 3 Accelerator, 3 Arsenal, no armor. We got an MK2. We got 2 Ghost Rare Excaliburs. That's cool, I guess. A little bit of the Hunters, a little bit of the Madolches. But other than that, really nothing too crazy to write home about. So a little unfortunate, but there was some good stuff. Oh, and there's the Chronomaly in here too. So not a horrible opening, just unfortunately we didn't get a deck that we're going to play this week out of it.
All right, let's go ahead and look at our pools here. So we got Trance Disorder. We got a playset of Trance. Not really going to do anything for me right now. We got a playset of the Photon Caesar, which could be interesting. I don't know how I'm going to get it out, but it's there. 2 Prophecy Destroyers. I mean, I guess I could technically play it. I don't think I would ever do that, but it's playable. We got triple Light Ray Mador, which is cool. I guess the question is just how would I summon it? And is it worth it? Probably not. We got a couple Noble Knights in Gwaine. We got a bunch of Goblin Marauding Squads. We got some Chariots. We got a couple Prophecy Monsters, but nothing that's really playable in terms of a deck. We did get a bunch of Heroic Challenges, but I'm not sure if we could really pull off the deck. We've only got a couple Maldoches, so that's pretty much unplayable. The 2 Dust Knights are interesting. It's just flip effects, you know? That's kind of the issue here. You know, we pulled the gear monsters, but we didn't pull the giant, so that's pretty sad. Mahunder is cool. Unfortunately, we don't have like T-King or anything, you know, to work with it. Pawhunder, again, you know, cool. The Revival Golems are interesting. You know, it's just a matter of what can I really do with that. Again, we don't have Foolish Burial. I guess maybe if I used it with the Lightsworns, but is it worth bringing Earth in the Lightsworns just for a free level 4? We do have Block Golem, so there's some Earth synergy there, but I don't think it's going to be helpful just yet. Chewbone is interesting. I mean, giving Justin tokens would maybe disrupt his plays depending on what he's playing this week. We got a ton of spellbook powers, which is good, I guess, if I ever go for the spellcaster route. We do have a spellbook library of the Crescent, which is also interesting. We did get a playset of War Art Thou, which is pretty neat. Might not be useful right now, but in the future I could see some uses. We got a playset of Soul Drain. Again, maybe a side deck option in the future. As for the extra deck, we got a Hierophant. We got the Machu Mech. We got a Arrivederci. And we have Soul of the Silver Mountain. This could be interesting depending on what we pull and what our card list is, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing anything Earth related this week.
All right, the last box, Abyss Rising. Excited for this one. Mermails are definitely the best cards in this set. The core of it, though, it's all high rarity, so we're probably not going to be playing that deck. But Abyss Dweller is a super rare, a good generic rank 4, so hopefully I can at least hit that this week. I'd be very happy. First pack has really nothing at all that I would use.
Our second set of the week is Abyss Rising, and while this was a good set in real life, for us it may not be the best, because if we didn't pull great last set, which I didn't really, a lot of the archetype specific support isn't really going to do much for us this week. Ideally, however, I do pull the Dweller and the Cowboy. Those 2 are game changers, as well as Forbidden Dress to a lesser extent, but any of those 3 would be much appreciated. Pack number 1, we start off with Shore Knight and Heroic Champion, neither of which I really wanted. One-shot wand is kind of interesting. We get Gaia Caesar and another one-shot wand.
Hey, okay, there is Abyss Dweller. That's the card I needed this set. It's such a good rank 4, generic, 2 level 4s. If it happens to have a water under it, it gets 500 extra attack as well for all your waters. But being able to detach and turn off all graveyard effects for the turn that activate, such a great rank 4. Very happy. The rest of this pack opening, I don't know what else there is to hit, but I'm very glad I hit that. Hey, there's another rank 7 Mermail Abyss Gaios. Pretty cool. But again, we're probably not going to be playing Mermail anytime soon. So probably a waste.
This is a prophecy. And in our last couple packs here, we're going to pull another Hauser Gate. Unitaris. Maldochepedia, and in our final pack we pull the Maldoche XCs.
All right, last pack. I don't really know if there's anything in particularly that I'm looking for, so we'll flip it up And there was a Lind. How funny. Well, let me flip through this real quick and see what all we got. So really, the highlights from this opening was the Abyss Gaios and the Abyss Dweller. Just, decent Exceed monsters. And again, with Dragon Rulers coming around next episode, maybe if I have 2 title, I could make the Gaios. But other than that, Lind is so cool. But I don't have a Mermail deck. I don't have even a Heraldic deck with this. I don't know. I'm definitely going to have to do some homework here. Try to come up with something cool and different. I really just, like catching Ricardo off guard if I can. There's a lot of things to mess with this set, so maybe I can read some of these cards and find something that wasn't played in this time, at least competitively. But yeah, I got the Dweller and I got the Gaios, so those 2 cards by themselves really make up for this really subpar opening this week. I'll see you guys at the deck builder. Peace.
Man, this was definitely not the opening that I wanted. Really could have used the Cowboy or, of course, the Dweller. We pulled some more prophecies, but again, we didn't pull the boss monsters last time around, so unless I want to, for some reason, run Destroyer as my boss, then not really going to be seeing that. We got a bunch of fish stuff, but I don't think I have the fish or the frogs to pull it off. We got the Dustin, the one Dustin. Not playing the white Dustin because that's racist. Again, a bunch of spellbook stuff. Maybe there's a way to play this, but I don't think it's the way that I want to play it right now. As for extra deck stuff, we got Kusanagi, the Tiramisu, and Snowdust Giant. It's going to be a rough one. I'm trying to avoid the hat trick here, and I think I have an idea in mind. It's just a matter of how I get it to work. But either way, this one's going to be important. I'm not trying to go out with 3 losses in a row to start off season 2. So let's get building.
So another week and another flop opening. No Yugiohs and no Mermails, which we expected, but we did hit a couple of good extra deck monsters this week, and of all the cards we got, I felt like after going through my collection, if ever there was a deck to be able to abuse those cards, this would be the deck. This week we are going to be playing Skill Drain Skyscraper Elemental Hero, which honestly is pretty hilarious. Thankfully, back in episode 1 of season 2, we opened the Mega Pack, which gave me access to our 1 copy of Stratos, our 1 copy of Captain Gold, and I believe I had my Skyscraper back from the GX era, but since we have these, now we can play some kind of hero deck. I do have my Miracle Fusions, but I have no good targets to go into, so for that reason, I fell back on Degeneracy, like I've done the last 3 episodes, fell back on Skill Drain, a bunch of trap cards, and of course controlling the game with Thunder King, which to this day Ricardo has still not found an answer to. Starting things off, we are of course playing the 1 Stratos, being able to search any of your heroes in the deck. We have the 1 Captain Gold that is a 21 beater if Skyscraper is already on the field, but with Skill Drain, it makes it to where you don't need Skyscraper, and of course, it does have the effect to discard itself to add Skyscraper, so essentially, Stratos gives us access to Skyscraper because, well, it searches any hero in the deck. After the Captain Gold, we have 2 Bubble Man. This is kind of the extender of the deck. If I have no other cards in my hand, I can special summon it. It does have a Pot of Greed effect as well, but I have to literally top deck that card. So who knows, maybe we'll pull it off, but yeah, really, at the end of the day, this is just a level 4 body we can throw out on the field to make Exceed plays. After the Bubble Man, we have the 3 Alias. Really, we don't have Shining to abuse with this, but we do have Gem Spark, so that's pretty nice. It's a 19 beater, it's a vanilla, works pretty good with Skill Drain, and again, works great with Skyscraper, so for that reason, I felt having the 19 beater would go great in this deck. That's it for the heroes. Moving on after that, we do play the 3 Thunder King, like I mentioned. This is just a 19 beater, works under Skill Drain, stops searches, negates summons. This card is a house, and really, I can't see myself playing a deck, at least right now, without playing this card. For the last 2 monsters, they're both hand traps, one being Honest. Everything in the deck is light outside of Bubble Man and Stratos, so this card, especially when timed correctly, could definitely catch Ricardo off guard. And of course, the last God card, Max C. Well, ever since having it, we've played it every episode, And unless Ricardo changes what he's playing, I don't see myself changing this anytime soon as well. Moving on to the spells, we have 2 Emergency Call. I do have access to 3, but the last thing I want is a handful of hero monsters. Really want to see a lot of traps, not a lot of searchers. We have the 1 Duality for consistency. We have the 3 Gem Spark to combo with the Alias. 1 MST, the other 2 are in the side. I feel like the Gem Sparks plus the Heavy Storm is enough removal if I really need it. We got Raigeki and Dark Hole as our mass board wipes. Heavy Storm, again, just as more back row removal. Book of Moon as our flexibility quick play spell. Premature and Monster Reborn, bringing back Stratos, getting more searches, or even popping back row with its secondary effect. And of course, like I said, we have a bunch of cool rank 4s we can go into, so this could be pretty cool. For the last 2 spells, we have the 1 Forbidden Lance, just added protection, more damage step tricks. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And for the last spell, of course, I mentioned it already, the Skyscraper, just making it to where all our heroes are going to be able to run over Ricardo's monsters pretty easily. Moving on to the very thick trap lineup, we are playing 2 Torrential Tribute. Obviously, we have 2, so we're going to play them. The 1 Mirror Force, Ricardo does have 2, but I don't know if he's going to play him or not. Our little Solemn Brigade of Solemn Judgment and Double Warning. 2 Hero Blast, just to recycle Alias, and again, more removal. The 1 Oppression, this card is insane, and I'm going to keep playing it until we ban it. 1 Ring of Destruction, the 1 Huge Revolution is over as our pseudo Starlight Road, and of course 3 Skill Drain. Floodgates are pretty insane. Going to the side, we have the 3 DD Crow, 1 Battle Fader, and 1 Swift Scarecrow as hand traps to side depending on what he's playing. DD Crow is obviously for any Grave deck, and of course, Battle Fader and Swift Scarecrow for any heavy OTK deck he might throw at us. After that, just generic removal stuff. Again, the 2 MSTs if he's on a lot of back row, Double Smashing if he's on big beaters, the 1 Brain Control if he's on a deck that plays a lot of level 4s, the 1 Nobleman of Crossout just in case Ricardo pulled a Yugioh core for himself. That's really the only deck that I could see him pulling that I would struggle with, except for the fact that I have Skill Drain and, well, Gem Spark too, but I could see that deck being very good if he pulled it. We have the 1 Confiscation and the 1 Trap Death Shoot for whenever we go first, and of course, you know, degenerate cards, Double Vanity's Emptiness. This card's also very insane, and as we go through the history of Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just going to get better and better. Moving on to the extra deck, we have a lot of really cool cards to play now. Of course, we have the Utopia and the Utopia Ray, stuff we've had for the last couple episodes. We got the 1 Pap and the newly added Thunder Spark Dragon. Takes 3 level 4s. It's basically a board wipe, and if you use 5 materials, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls, but we don't have any way to get extra materials under it, so, you know, we're never going to use that effect. We have the newly acquired Abyss Dweller. I'm sure anybody in modern Yu-Gi-Oh knows about this card. It's seen play ever since its release. Great against Mermail and, of course, any great graveyard-based deck. Very glad I have this. Plus, we do have the Bubble Mans that are water, so if that's used as a material, then Abyss Dweller will get the extra 500 attack boost. So that's pretty cool. After that, we have Snow Dust Giant. I don't see myself ever playing this, but it's a rank 4 we could make. Takes 2 level 4 waters, so that's specifically both Bubble Man. The effect requires you to reveal a water to lower the attack of your opponent's monsters, but again, we only have the 2 Bubble Man, so I didn't want to play 3 Bubble Man on the off chance of actually summoning this, and yeah, again, I just don't see myself making this unless I'm completely out of options. Moving on to the next monster that we have 2 of, because, you know, we're just that lucky, I guess. We have 2 Heroic Champion Excalibur. This card's really insane. It's a 4K beater that only takes 2 monsters to make, so I definitely am not going to have a problem swinging over monsters this episode. But if ever the chance arrives, after using something like a Reborn and some Bubble Mans, I can see myself getting 4 monsters on the field pretty easily. So if Ricardo's field's open, well, then making double Excalibur for an 8,000 damage swing would be really hilarious. After that, we have 2 more rank 4s. Again, I don't see myself ever summoning them. They both take 3 level 4s. This one lets you draw cards, kind of garbage. And this one's a 2950 beater. And while that's cool, just 2 into Excalibur is way better. So, yeah, you know, they're there just in case. After that, it's just a couple of synchros for the Brain Control on the side and the Reborn in the main. Just 1 of every level, level 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Could have played any other cards, but really, I just felt like these could come up. So that's it for the deck. Nothing too crazy. Again, beat down, skill drain, traps. Ricardo's been struggling. He plays very aggressive, so we'll see if he mixes it up this week. But if everything goes right, I think this will be a great meta call before next week when we get Dragon Rulers. I am so pumped for that deck. Even if I get a small core, I have a good deck idea. But we'll see how lucky we get. Hopefully we get the hat trick, start this season strong. I'm going to pass it on to Ricardo. I'm sure he's very excited to tell you what the heck he's playing.
Well, guys, T-King is the card to beat. 2 weeks in a row now, it's cost me the game. It shut down my entire deck. T-King is ultimately the main threat, so the deck revolves around beating that and basically shutting down whatever else Justin may have. Once again, we start off with the holy trinity of 5D's tuners because, of course, the plant engine's busted, and Plague Spreader is just a great card overall to have. Our boss monsters are BLS and Dad. We've cut the Chaos Sorcerer, we've cut the Galaxy Eyes because we want to be more consistent, and these two are the way to go. Just 2 big beefy monsters, followed up by 3 Cyber Dragons because Cyber Dragon outs the T-King by itself. It's a free special summon. Unfortunately, this one isn't searchable, but having 3 almost guarantees it's going to see play. We have Breaker the Magical Warrior because, again, it comes out at 1600, but with its effect, it can crash into a T-King. It also serves as a back row hate card, which is pretty important with cards like Royal Oppression running around. Next up, we are, of course, on the skill drain package this week, meaning that Fusiliers make a return to the deck. Next up, we got Photon Thrasher as another card that gets over T-King, but the question is, will it be searchable when needed? Between Photon Thrasher and 3 other Cyber Dragons, I have 4 cards that can easily out that son of a bitch. Next up, the main stars of this week's deck, Elemental Hero Stratos and our double Neos Alias. We're finally playing Hero Beat. It's a deck that I couldn't really do a while back, but because the Academy Mega Packs, we got Stratos, meaning they are live. These 3 cards are just the MVPs of the deck. Basically, they're searchable via Witch of the Black Forest. Stratos, of course, searches for the Neos Alias. They're both searchable via Rhoda and, of course, the E-Tele. Basically, we do the Gemini Spark play to just plus off of Destruction of T-King. Of course, even if I don't have Gemini Spark, Neos Alias is still 1900, meaning he can crash into that T-King. We're also running DD Warrior Lady because we're running Rhoda, meaning it's searchable, but that means I have a way to play around Zen mains. Of course, Lonefire Nanny return because, of course, the plant engine is still being played here. Double Card Troopers, 1, it mills the deck, 2, it crashes into T-King and then gives me a draw for free. Our double Raikos because they've been putting in the work. 1 Allure of Darkness to draw. And next up we got Raigeki and Dark Hole as monster wipes. Of course we have the Rhoda and the E-Call to search our heroes and our DD Warrior Lady. Charge to search out our Raikos. Brain Control to take care of whatever might be on Justin's field. Heavy Storm to get rid of back row like Oppression. MST because, again, back row hate is important, but I can't dedicate too much space to it. But we do have the Breaker, the Heavy, and the MST. Next up we got Card Destruction just to help speed things up a bit. Our double Gemini Spark, one of the main cards this week. And our trap lineup of Solemn Judgment, Double Warning, Bottomless, Mirror Force, and Double Skill Drain. Next up, in case Justin's not something Graveyard Heavy, I'm running a little Banishment package here with Macro, the Banishers of Radiance, and then Future Fusion to dump my own Stings Engrave, alongside Overload Fusion in case I need the Chimera Tech, but really they're just here as Grand Module support. We got double Just Desserts because in case Justin is playing something Monster Spam heavy, Just Desserts might hit him with that burn damage because we get close and then we just miss it by that much. So having cards like Just Desserts might help me sneak out a win here. Next up we got Book of Moon. Next up is Book of Moon because we might have to keep Floodgates off the field by flipping them face down, or might have to protect one of my own monsters in the same manner. It's a really versatile card and, well, I think it's necessary this week. Next up we got the protection of Chalice and Lance, another MST, and then double Raigeki Break. Our extra deck is pretty similar to last week with a couple differences just because we're not playing any Synchrons. Formula, Magical Android is generic level 5, Goyo because it's Goyo, Iron Chain is another level 6, Black Rose to blow up the field, Urbellum as a generic level 7. Next up Stardust Dragon because of course Justin's still on Zen mains, meaning I need a way to out that monster. We're running Leviathan Dragon because we have a couple level 3s, playing 2 rank 4s in Utopia and Blade Armor because, well, we're playing heroes. And then we have Utopia Ray just in case I need to put something on top of the Utopia. I don't think I'm going to need to, but it's just there as an option. We have the Chimera Tech in case we do go the Future Fusion and Overload route. And then the last 2 slots we have Road Warrior and Joe Warrior because I don't really have anything else I can put here. I have cards I could put there, but they're just not going to be played. Really trying not to get hat-tricked here. Really trying to not start off Season 2 that way. So let's see if this deck can out T-King and whatever else Justin has planned this week. Hero Beat, Skill Drain, let's go. It's time to duel.
Justin, this is normally where I say hi, but the sleeves are might get started early, I guess.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. I had to mix up the sleeves this week.
Yeah. So yeah, this is episode 3, season 2, and I'm currently down 2-0. So if I once again lose, that is the first hat trick of the season, and I'm really trying to stop that this week.
Yeah, and I was thinking back to season 1, and I remember the first season started the exact same way, where I started off with a 2-win streak, and I got all confident, and I thought I was going to get the hat trick, and then you turn around and won 2 in a row yourself, and well, I think the change was you mixed up your strategy on me. I think you went burn early in the Yu-Gi-Oh history, but so I'm curious if you're kind of sticking to your guns, or maybe you got some new cards to work with, or if you're just going to completely change your strategy this week. I don't know. I'm trying not to get too confident, but of course, I want to start out with a hat trick. It'd be a great way to start the season.
Yeah, let's get into it. Hopefully, John Doppel saves my ass in the clutch.
All right, good luck, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Thought the drive would do it.
All right, I'm going to take first because gotta play under T King. All right, opening draw. Whoa, there we go. Opening draw. Standby main. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the classic T set, and on that, I'm gonna pass.
All right, starting turn. Huh. Interesting. All right, I think I'm going to enter main phase 1. Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and set 2 back row.
Okay.
I'm just going to pass.
All right, let's go ahead and draw. What could those back row be? You know what? Let's just go ahead and take the risk here. I'm going to flip summon Raiko and target this one right here. No warning?
Not warning, but I do have skill drain.
Oh, okay. Alright, that's kind of pain in the ass, but that's fine. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and let's start poking here.
Oh, God.
Little guy beat down. Attack for 200 and then for 300 direct.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Main phase 2, I'm going to set 1 and pass.
Alright, starting turn. Okay. Well, let's see what you got. I'm going to go ahead and enter main phase 1.
Yeah.
And next, I'm going to normal summon Elemental Hero Captain Gold.
That's interesting.
Now, normally it would destroy itself, but since we have skill drain face up, it gets to live.
I guess the question is, do I want you to have this beat stick right now?
That's what we're playing right now.
Skill drain makes me have to do this. We'll go ahead and soul warning it.
Oh, man. Okay. That's a big one. But do you have an answer for Monster Reborn?
Oh, I don't. That is unfortunate.
Okay, sweet. All right, so we'll bring back the beat stick again. And I'm going to enter the battle phase, and I think I'm going to attack your Dandelion.
Alright, so that'll be 1800, and I get my tokens.
Go to main phase 2, and I'll just pass.
Alright, draw. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play defensively here for a bit. I'm just going to go ahead and pass.
Alright, starting turn. I guess I'm going to go to battle right off the bat, and I will poke over that Raiko.
Yeah, that's fine.
Main phase 2, I will pass.
Draw. Alright, I think the play to do here is set and pass.
Alright, starting turn. Man, I'm not drawing any monsters, but hey, this 21 beater is it's carrying me. We'll tack another token.
Yeah.
Main phase 2, I will set 2 more back row. I'll end the turn.
Draw. Alright. Alright, well, I guess not as fun to have a soul or not here. Let's go ahead and activate Brain Control.
Ooh, that's a good one. Man, this is like my only monster right now. Yeah, I guess you can have it.
Alright. Let's go ahead and enter the battle phase. And we'll have Captain Gold poke for 21.
Alright, I'll take it.
Main phase 2. I guess I'm just gonna have to force it out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip summon Plague Spread.
It's pretty good. I think the thing that worries me the most is if you have something like Book of Moon, because then you could essentially go Black Rose and then, you know, nuke the board with skill drain face up by setting your Black Rose. So I think to try to prevent that possibility, I'm going to have to Torrential.
Oh, that's a shame. Alright.
I do lose my hero, though.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just set one and pass there.
Okay, starting turn. Alright, we got a monster. We're going to activate Emergency Call.
Yeah, you're good.
Gonna add the good old boy Alias. Normal summon Alias.
Yeah, you're good.
And we'll poke.
Alright, so that is my card trooper, so I do get a draw.
Alright. After that, I think I'll pass.
Alright, well here we go. Let's start off with one of my favorite monsters here. So standby, main. Special summon, Cyber Dragon.
That's a big one. Yeah, you're good.
I feel like if you had an answer to Cyber Dragon, you would have done it right then and there. Let's think about this. I guess I gotta risk it here. I'm gonna go ahead and banish Plague Spreader and Raiko from my grave and summon the big man himself, BLS.
Alright, let me think about this one. This guy's pretty big. Oh man. It's unfortunate. Dude's huge. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna activate Solemn Warning.
Yeah, that is fine. Alright, well, guess I gotta risk it here. Go to battle and have Cyber Dragon attack over Alias. Let's see that Gemini Spark.
Declaration is good. Is entering the damage step okay?
Yeah.
I will activate the effect of Honest.
Ooh. Pretty sure I had that one. So
I've had this card in the collection for a long time.
So that one means I take what?
You take 19.
Oh, that is not good. Alright, main phase 2. Let's go ahead and special summon another Cyber Dragon to the field.
Ooh, okay, that's pretty good. Alright,
pass there.
starting turn. This is unfortunate. Alright, well, I will set one. And I will change this hero to defense. End my turn.
Alright, let's go ahead and draw. Alright, that's rough. I think I gotta take the risk here. I will activate Allure of Darkness.
Yep, you're good.
And I'm gonna go ahead and draw one. Draw 2. Oh, that is a shame. Everything goes to the grave.
Oh, that's what you meant by the risk? Oh, no. Oh, it looks like you're on skill drain too, huh?
Yeah.
Looks like we took a similar strategy this week.
So let's go ahead and go to battle and risk it all here. Attack over the
Yeah,
alias.
that's good. Oh, man, that was a big minus.
Damn.
All right. Ooh, okay. All right, main phase 1.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set 1 and 2 and end the turn.
Alright, draw. The chances of you having Mirror Force are pretty high, I guess. But no real other option here. Let's go ahead and attack.
I'm going to activate Pre-Errata Ring of Destruction.
Disgusting. Alright. I'm gonna have to take first here. Make sure effects go off before skill drain hits the field. Opening draw. This is an awkward hand. I guess we're just gonna have to set 3 here.
Alright.
And yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Alright. Starting turn. Standby phase, anything?
You're good.
Alright, main phase 1. I'm going to activate Potted
Yeah.
Duality. Banish the top 3. Those are some good ones.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go ahead and grab Heavy Storm.
Yeah. And I guess the question is this card worth it to me?
Alright, shuffle up the deck. And I'll shoot it. You know, if you got the judgment, at least that's half your life points.
That hurts, but yeah, gotta do it.
Gotta do it sometimes. Question is, do you also want to activate a Solemn Warning?
I'm gonna go ahead and Raigeki break the TK.
Okay. Now are you gonna warning?
Oh, guess I have to.
Oh god. Okay. Well, you stopped my push. I'll set 2 and pass.
Yeah, this duel is not going away. That opening hand was ugly. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and set 1 and pass.
Alright. Oh, that's probably the best draw on my deck. Normal summon, Elemental Hero Stratos.
Let's see. Well, you can't summon the Gemini Spark this turn. I guess that's good.
Okay, we'll use the effect to search. I'm gonna go ahead and add Alias to hand.
Yeah.
So, after adding Alias, I'm just gonna go to battle.
Yeah.
And I'll poke for 18.
Yeah, that is good. Oof.
Main phase 2. I will pass.
Draw. Not the card I wanted to see. Standby. Main. Alright, go ahead and activate Raigeki Break.
Ooh, okay.
And I guess I'm gonna have to blind pop this card right here.
That was a good one. It's Torrential Tribute.
That was what I was afraid of there. And next up, we'll special summon Cyber Dragon to the field.
Dang, that's crazy. Alright, I'm gonna have to. I'll solve him.
Then you got this one.
That's it?
Ugh.
Oh, that's what I was expecting was the BLS, but oh,
Man.
you don't have darks.
Do you see that opening hand there?
Crazy.
The opening hand was Judgment,
Just
MST,
back row.
Raigeki, Solum, and you forced out
Oh,
both the Solums. Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
this is actually pretty funny because Well, we're both, yeah.
Both on heroes, huh? That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Both.
Okay, I have a reason why I chose this deck this week, but I think it might be for the same reason that you're playing it. So I'm curious to hear your explanation.
All right. So obviously, T King has been quite the issue for the past couple of weeks. So I basically
hence the Thunder King sleeves.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at my anti T King lineup here. Obviously, we had the skill drain, so we were obviously going to bring back Fusilier as the free beat stick.
Right.
We had triple Cyber Dragons, which you saw two of them last game. We had the Photon Thrasher, which I had last game, and just had to choose between that and Cyber Dragon. Not really much of a difference. Double Alias for the Gemini Sparks. Other than that, we just played a bunch of back row. We did bring back the DD Warrior Lady because we're playing Rhoda, so why not? Yeah, it really just came down to me drawing all that back row this game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, honestly. I did have a play that I was going to go into that would have won me the game last turn before the Solemn Warning play, but I didn't want to risk running into a trap card, and it would have probably lost me the game if I did do it. But I'm curious, before I explain what it was, did you hit anything good in the packs?
No. I got a lot of there were some cards that were good if I had gotten the rest of the engine or the rest of the archetype. Like, I got a lot of spellbook cards, but I missed that on both boss monsters, so they weren't really going to do much for me. We got some Aldolches. Maybe some of those could be useful, but I think I'm missing a lot to actually make them useful right now. Yeah, like these past two sets, they're full of power monsters in theory, but because we only had the one box, if we don't pull good in one, then the next box was pretty much useless, and that's the issue I ran into this week.
Right, same. Yeah, I keep on getting really close to getting a new deck, and every time I open a pack, it's like always one card away. So like, I was kind of close with Inzektor, not really, but then when I got to the windups, I started getting cards, but again, I skipped out on some on the wheel. And then this week, I was really close with the what's it called? With the Yugioh archetype. I had all the armors, all the accelerators, but I didn't hit a single Yugioh armor. So I'm sorry, I think I might have misspoke there. All the arsenals. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna re-say that.
Yep.
I wound up pulling all the arsenals and all the accelerators, but I didn't open any of the armor, which is a super rare. And if I had at least one, I would have tried to play the deck because my rank 4 lineup is starting to slowly get better and better. And I think Yugioh is actually a pretty decent deck at making rank 4s.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, I really didn't get that lucky, unfortunately. But one thing I did hit this week is this boss monster here. And this is why I thought you might be playing this week, is because it takes 2 level 4 warriors to make, and essentially you detach 2 and it's a 4k beater for the end of your opponent's turn. So it's your turn and the next. And I wound up pulling this as a ultra rare, and I also pulled it as a ghost rare. So this essentially is like a super easy way for me to get 8,000 damage, because I don't know if you flipped through my grave yet, but I'm playing double Bubble Man. So of all my warriors, this is the only real playable deck that I saw being able to make these exceeds, because again, like, I didn't really hit a lot of the Mermail stuff. That stuff's all high rarity, so I couldn't really play that. I did get some Prophecy stuff, but I'm missing like all the good stuff because it's high rarity. And again, I fell short on the Yugiohs. But I think the best highlight this week, for me at least, was the Exceeds. I also hit an Abyss Dweller in super rare.
That was the big one.
So these 3 here were the big ones. I did hit some other random ones that were like kind of janky. Like I hit this guy, which is like I can make it with the bubble mans, but doesn't mean I want to.
Yeah.
And then I also got this guy, but he takes 3 level 4s to make. So I don't know. Like I'm starting to get rank 4s. They look cool, but really at the end of the day, it wasn't as good as I had hoped. So I really just tried to get creative and find a deck that not only let me play the Warriors, but also, let me play the Thunder Kings that have been putting in a lot of work the last few games.
Yeah.
And so I fell back on Heroes. And this build, actually, I have Miracle Fusion, but I literally have no good targets to summon. So instead, I went the skill drain route and the beatdown. And thanks to our mega pack, I got to open one of the Captain Golds, which can then search my one skyscraper. So it's kind of nice because now I can play this skill drain deck that also will be able to beat over all your monsters because of skyscraper if I ever needed to. So that was kind of my approach this week. It was my best rank 4 deck that I could think of that not only plays Thunder King, but also you have recently been struggling with trap cards and back row. So I just want to continue that trend. This is 3 weeks in a row now that I've gone heavy trap, and that in conjunction with Thunder King has been carrying me pretty far.
Yeah, the Thurga Destruction is a card that I forget you have, and I think
sometimes
every time
I do
it's
too.
Popped up, I think it's decided every game that it's popped up, and what a problem child. That and last week it was what was it? Royal Oppression.
Right.
Yeah, I just got a plan for the back row hate, but man, that opening hand sucked in this game. I was of all the cards I could open.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Ugh.
Because really, all I had going for me was that Thunder King, and I was hoping that it would stick. It didn't. It got through all your back row, but I had no other monster. And then while you were unlucky to draw a monster, I was lucky and top decked into Stratos, which basically gets the whole deck going. But that's actually, speaking of that, was what I was going to try to do. You had one back row left, so I was going to summon the Stratos and then use its effect to grab Bubble Man. I had Raigeki in my hand, so I could set the Raigeki, and then I could then special summon the Bubble Man from my hand to then go into the Excalibur. But so that was 4K, and it would have been enough for game. But I was worried about, Raigeki Break, Book of Moon, literally any card that stopped the summon. Even Solemn Warning was technically live. You would have had 100 life points left. So, and I had no other monsters, so I couldn't risk a trap card making it to where I fell behind. And then if you top decked a monster, then you could have easily turned that game around and won. But
Yeah,
had to play safe.
Well, the hat trick is the way we start off season 3. I'm not sure what deck I'm picking up. I have to look at the decks of this era. Yes, I'm grabbing Dragons Collide, and between like Pulsar and the Darkness Metal, I don't know. This deck is pretty insane. I've been playing Chaos a lot. We saw shades of it in this deck, but to just finally have not only those 2 dragons, but to have Lila as we're heading into the Chaos or the Dragon Ruler format, I'm pretty excited. So. While it was a pretty big loss.
Yeah, that actually does make me a little nervous because there's even, is it Eclipse Wyvern? That one has some amazing synergy with, I know there was at one time Lightsworn Ruler deck that was really great. It milled a bunch, and then you would mill the Wyvern, and then it's a dragon, so you could banish it with the big dragons. Then you can search something like Dark Arm or even Judgment Dragon if you were playing the Lightsworn engine. You have a second Dark Arm as well, and Red MD's crazy. This deck is actually really stacked, so
yeah.
I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of cards in there that I would love to have my hands on for what I'm hoping to build. But, okay, this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, T-King's been a pain in my ass, but I think the Dragons are going to help out a little bit, but...
Yeah, Thunder King's got nothing on a Dragon Ruler.
But man, a hat trick was not the way I wanted to start this season off, but... when it came down to it, I had way too many damn traps in my hand, so it is what it is.
Really quick, speaking of the potential of Dragon Ruler format, or at least getting a couple of Dragon Rulers for ourselves, my wheel actually treated me pretty good. And at first, I didn't realize what it was, and in the end, I wound up getting a Big Eye to add to the collection.
That's scary. Yeah, I pulled the light Greffer, so we're totally even,
Oh yeah, Yeah, just same level.
Yeah, Dark Diviner like Greffer, let's go. No problem. Well, I'm looking forward to next week. It's going to be a crazy one. So,
Right.
until then, see you guys.
All right. Ooh, the sleeves. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I made the change on purpose.
All right. You ready?
I thought you might like it.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.